Hey ballers, this is Monty here from Ball in the House, and we are so excited to present to you our second edition of Talk Back Tuesday, where we get to answer the questions that you have for us. So we are excited to do this for you guys, but we just want to remind you to send any questions that you have for us. You can send them through Twitter, through Facebook, email. We'll do our best to answer them at our next edition. But right now I want you to enjoy this edition.
So we are totally trying to rest up. A couple of us were sick a couple of weeks ago, but just taking care of our bodies, rehearsing our set. We have our set ready to go. So every chance we get, getting together, rehearsing the set, being as comfortable as possible.
Actually, yeah, not so much prepping, because we've already done the prep work. So once we get out there, we just do what we always do, and if we do what we do well, then everything else will take care of itself.
Star Wars is a way of life, and I love the universe. I love the Obi-Wan Kenobi character. I love horror movies. So John Carpenter's The Thing. My favorite music movie, and one that got me into doing what I do, is actually Purple Rain. And the movie had such a huge influence on me when I was a kid. The way that he was like talking to Apollonia, the way he was, competing with the time. And it just had such a huge change in the way that I saw music, and of course the performances are just out of control, like just so awesome, and that's completely, wow, that's what I want to do, that's what I want to do.
So my favorite movie is The Little Mermaid. I love that movie with all my heart. I probably know every line, I know every song. I could probably play every character in the Broadway show if it needed to be. There's fantastic music, the singing is phenomenal, the storyline is great. Who doesn't want to be Ariel? I want to be Ariel.
So my favorite movie would definitely be Gladiator, on the account that I like it. I really don't have any specific reason other than it's the movie that's gotten me to shed giant man tears at the end more than any other movie. You know, he's getting to see his family again. He's set out everything he's set out to accomplish, and it's glorious.
My favorite movie is Hook. Yes, Hook. Robin Williams, Julia Roberts, Dustin Hoffman. Don't judge me, you don't know my life. It's just the idea of never having to grow up. And essentially, that's what I'm doing here in Ball in the House. I live every day like a kid in a candy store, doing what I love, not having to grow up. And that's my favorite, because it's just me in a nutshell.
Ooh, favorite movie of all time, no question, Shawshank Redemption. I've seen it more times than I can even count. And the reason why, it's filled with so much hope, never letting go of just hoping and wanting to be free. So that is my favorite.
So my favorite city to visit other than Boston would have to be my other home city, I like to call it, which would be Washington, D.C. There's so many monuments, museums, and not to mention a lot of my really, really good friends are there.
Other than Boston, of course, my favorite city is Haines, Alaska. We were there a few years ago. More stars than sky, great scenery, of course, great people, little shops. It was a fantastic place to visit.
Besides all the sound checking and setting up and everything else that goes on, the main routine right before we go on stage is I just go and kind of recheck everything, make sure nothing got bumped, make sure nothing got out of place, make sure we have like spare batteries to the side. But other than that, I try not to have a routine. I try not to think about stuff, because the more that I do, the more nervous I tend to be. Whereas if I'm off doing stuff and then just, all right, it's time to go, and then just go, that for me takes away the nerves and just lets me go and perform.
So my pre-show routine is kind of similar to Johnny's, except because I'm selfish, I don't go around checking all the equipment. I check all of my own, I turn everything off, turn it back on again, make sure that everything's working just right. And when I'm feeling extra selfish, my routine would be making Wallace thread my headphone cord through my sweater down to my pack so it's not flapping around behind me. So I have not quite fallen off the stage before, but I've come very, very close. But since I've been in Ball in the House, I almost fell off the back of the stage in the middle of a performance. So I did some arm windmilling that none of the guys got to see, but any choice members of the audience happening to look my way would have gotten a full view of it.
All right, So I know this question was probably for me, and that's okay. So for those of you who may not know me, I'm one of the clumsiest people that God has ever created. So I've done a lot of musicals, I've done a lot of concerts. Some of my prominent falls, because I've had many, some of my prominent falls have been where I fell into an orchestra pit full of instruments. Yes, that happened. When I was coming off the stage from doing a performance of Ragtime, I went to go step on the stairs, and the stairs actually flipped, and then they fell on me and broke. That's happened. There was a time when I did an opera, and I was going to go jump on the front of the stage, and I jumped and I landed, but guess what? I lost my balance and I fell off of the stage after I had landed. So yeah, I fall a lot, but I have not fallen yet with Ball in the House. I don't know how that hasn't happened. I'm probably jinxing myself. I'll probably fall tomorrow when we do our show. But yeah, so that's my life. I'm just Fall Terrio. That's my name.